You can tell he's never been in a relationship. Right. He doesn't understand. And I think he understands a little bit how messed up he made himself because he's like, I guess I'll just be a sugar daddy. Because to be honest, where he's at right now, that's his only logical explanation. He's an addict to this thing. Because if he doesn't, he might meet a woman he falls in love with, but he might not be sexually attracted to her because she's not this extreme sexualized version that he's used to. Women can typically tell what kind of vibe. And if he's like, I have all these things, why don't women want me? There's usually some sort of other reason. And like I said, when you were reading it, like that's not what it's all about.
Here's my question. I am 32 years old male and have never been in a romantic relationship. I have lots of muscle and make 6 figures and I'm 6 feet tall. So he's got the 3 6s. 6 figures, 6 feet tall, 6-pack. That's what the women want. Okay. But I got into the habit of an early age of 18 seeing escorts.
Oh.
It started out of curiosity, but became a deeply ingrained habit.
Habit?
Yes, a habit. It is a different world and causes you to view women as sex objects. I never bothered with dating as I was involved with this habit. I would like to have a girlfriend for the first time in the next year, but I don't know how to go about it. Online dating generally doesn't work, and I tried joining a dancing class, but I am always perplexed how, despite being more muscular than every man there, women do not gravitate towards me.
It's almost like women don't value looks as much as men do.
Also, I don't want to have kids in the future. It gets me down as I want to experience true romantic love for the first time, but I'm in a dilemma. If I don't want to have kids, how will that be possible? I'm also very selfish and only want the good aspects of a relationship that suits me without dealing with all the headaches. I'm starting to think this is appropriate for this episode. I'm starting to think maybe the best option for me is to become a sugar daddy in the future. That way, it is an upgrade on seeing escorts as you get longer-term intimacy with hot girls, but you also get to retain your peace and freedom. The only downside is by making it into a transaction and using money, you can never experience proper love, and this will eat away at you when you get to an old age. I'm in a dilemma here, and it eats away at me every day. I would love some advice on this question from you and Nicole on your podcast.
I'm about to just say, screw the topic for this week because there's a lot to unpack here. I should have been writing notes. Why'd you put your phone away? Like, I'm going to forget all the points.
The thing.
I mean, Jesus. Okay, first.
Yeah, where do you want to begin?
He screwed himself over with the escort thing. Like, I know he wanted to get laid. But he has turned women into sex objects by that being his it sounds like primary first experience.
Yeah.
And majority of his experience, if not all of his experience.
Yeah.
So he's just all sorts of messed up in what he even wants. Because him even being like, I just want the good things of a relationship and not bad.
Yeah.
You can tell he's never been in a relationship. You can tell he doesn't understand. And I think he understands a little bit how messed up he made himself because he's like, I guess I'll just be a sugar daddy. Because to be honest, where he's at right now, that's his only logical explanation because it's basically what he's doing already.
Yeah.
He's already giving the sugar that women want to these women. He's paying women already.
Right.
So like a sugar daddy's not far off from what he already is.
Right.
So I would say the first thing that I recommend for him to do is to stop having sex with escorts and to not go hook up with random women either. To stop having sex. I think he needs to like cold turkey cut it off for a while.
Okay.
Where he resensitizes himself to women. Almost like you've talked about when men go off to war and they see an ankle and they're like,
give me that ankle.
Coming in their pants. We might need to cut that out.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I wasn't going to go there, but it just came out of my mouth. But
it just came out of your mouth.
But no, I think he needs to like desensitize himself to a severe point.
You need to desensitize yourself.
I told you, you. There's a lot to unpack here. Like, I am shook by all the things that you just said. But I think that is step one.
Yeah, I agree. I think step one is, I mean, I don't think the situation is that much different than most men, actually. I'll tell you why. Because, yeah, he's got the habit of escorts. Of course, there's a lot of guys that do.
But
right?
guys,
obviously, that's that oldest profession in the world. It stays in business. But a lot of guys are also, even if they're not specifically going to escorts.
They're hooking up with women to get the sexual. And then they're not, like, they're using them as an object. They're using them for sex.
Well, the pornography, like they're, the wide rampart, different, stuff there that where guys are addicted, to that. So that it's still, that might even be rewiring the brain in a worse way because that's not even a human, that's a picture on the screen. Right. So at least there's some humanity there. I'm not so just saying that's a good plan.
They still have been turned into objects rather than a person. Does that make sense? Like,
it's transactional.
It's a tool
it's
to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Like, he still has dehumanized these women because he says that it's like a habit. He hasn't said that he fell in love with any of them.
True.
So there's still like not romantic material. He acts like he's never had anybody that he's romantically involved in. And I think unless he goes cold hard turkey and almost like gets him through withdrawals, like he's going to have to go through withdrawals like a drug addict because he's an addict to this thing. Because if he doesn't, he might meet a woman he falls in love with, but he might not be sexually attracted to her because she's not this extreme sexualized version that he's used to.
Right. Well, and then also I think though the big problem is that it's just going to be it's going to feel like it's too hard, right? So it's like, he's used to just paying the money, getting whatever girl he wants, right?
And probably whatever legitimately he wants.
Right. And then now it's like he goes out to a nightclub, he goes to try and talk to a girl.
He has to work for it.
Like, it's so many steps to get to the end result that it's going to feel like, geez, it's
and it
like,
can't just be about what you want. Like, I'm assuming, because I've never had a prostitute, I'm assuming it's you pay the money, you get whatever you want, right?
I mean, there's
like, you think about your pleasure, you're not thinking about the prostitute's pleasure.
Yeah, that's.
If you meet a woman in real life, some guys do operate this way, but you can't just go in and be like, I want to, later. I already said worse things. I don't know why I don't want to say the things, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't go in where you're just focused on you getting off in real life. No woman is going to want to do that.
That happens most.
It does happen, but also women will be like, no, thank you.
Right.
Whereas, like, he's used to just getting whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because he's paying for it.
Right.
Where in reality, he's going to meet a woman who doesn't want to do some of the stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah, you can't take shortcuts because you take shortcuts. It's like this. It's sort of like if you, I don't know. Well, okay. Well, here's a good example because this one's coming up soon for a lot of ladies, which is, let's say that you're a lady doing OnlyFans, okay? Also form of prostitution. You're making the big money, you're making 20, 30 grand a month, maybe 50 grand a month, okay? At some point, that gravy train is going to end, whether it be AI that replaces you or your age, whatever it is, right? Or newer, younger girls coming out, whatever, At that point, I hope you saved all that money and invested it in real estate, because if you have to go and get a job at 7-Eleven and you're going to make $10 an hour when you were making $40,000 a month,
well, here's
doing
the thing.
almost nothing, just taking naked pictures of yourself.
They don't have to work at 7-Eleven. They can go be a prostitute.
That's well, that's what's going to happen, right? Because they're like, okay, how many girls do you think leave OnlyFans, try to get a legitimate job, and then they're like, I have to work for $15 an hour, $10 an hour, and then they probably go straight to prostitution.
Well, look, I'm only saying that because, like you said, there'll always be men willing to pay for that. And so, yes, OnlyFans women, AI comes,
whatever
they get older, whatever. But they can still do that if they want to, because men are not as selective.
Right. But my point
especially
is,
in this instance, because this man has paid from the very beginning. It sounds like he didn't even try to go get laid. And even if he tried, he didn't try hard enough.
No,
because he could have learned other things rather than taking the easy way out, like you're saying.
Right.
The easy way out is to just pay for it.
Right.
And you don't actually, like, he missed learning valuable things in picking up a woman. Like, if he's doing it the right way.
Right. Well,
like we've talked about.
Well, he's devalued. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's like now if he has to go and do the work and go out on dates and stuff, it's going to feel like a lot more work than just, you know, so.
No, I agree
and
with
then
you.
he fell into the common mistake that so many guys make, which is thinking that if I get jacked and I make a lot of money, women are just going to fall over me. It's just, it never, you got to be a rock star, okay?
Here's
right?
why.
A rapper, NBA player, it's not money, it's not being jacked. It's never going to happen.
Here's why I think.
You have to face it.
Here's why I think women aren't falling all over him. Because like you said, he has the 3 6s or whatever the heck you called it. He should be having everything, right? He is giving off this energy. Women are very intuitive.
Yeah.
He's probably giving off this energy that is causing women to stay away from him, even though she doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
Women can typically tell what kind of vibe. And if he's like, I have all these things, why don't women want me?
Right.
There's usually some sort of other reason. And like I said, when you were reading it, like, that's not what it's all about for women.
Right.
Like, I don't know if maybe men will finally realize now that this guy is sitting here saying he has all the things that women supposedly want and no women want him.
Right.
That, like, maybe they'll understand now that it's not viewed the same from men and women. But he's putting some sort of energy out there when he's talking to women. And it's either like he is maybe a little bit more selfish because he's used to just getting what he wants and he doesn't want to put the work in. And women can sense that. Or it's that he's taken the easy way out and he just genuinely doesn't even have any of the like knowledge that you get from dating and meeting women in real life and, you know, valuing a woman. Because I also don't understand what he means by he doesn't want to have kids so he can't find the love that he wants.
Well, I think what he's saying is that women are going to want to have kids.
Not all of them.
Yeah, but a majority.
Actually, now more than ever, there's more women who don't want to have kids than there ever was.
But I think there's still, you know, it's a pretty likelihood
but he also might change his view if he got to a point. I don't think he should in the position he's in. He is in no position to have a child. None.
Yeah.
So I can also see.
He might have a lot of children. Who knows?
Let's hope not. But I think that also, too, is affecting his mindset with children. Like, granted, if he really doesn't want to have kids, I'm not saying he's changed his mind.
No, but
he might think he doesn't want to have children because he's never been in love with somebody. Sex is so transactional, or transactional that it's like he only knows it to get this one thing rather than it being a way of like bringing life into the world. Like, it seems like he never fully developed. Like, he thinks he has because he has the 3 6s or whatever. But by him taking the easy way out within the woman department,
both ways,
sexually and romantically, he is stunted.
Yeah.
And women can tell that.
And this is the problem. I have dealt with this similar issue with so many guys that I've coached, because guys will think, this is the thing, I'll tell you how it is with guys, right? So guys are so afraid to go and talk to a girl, so terrified to do it, to be rejected, that, you know, they're going from A to B, right? So then they'll be like, all right, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make millions of dollars and I'm going to go to the gym for 20 hours a week and get completely jacked. And then I won't have to do this thing. I'll just get the girl, because so many guys, that's what they dedicate. They're like, I'm so scared to go and talk to a girl that I would rather work my ass off in the gym, and at work in order to make money and to get muscles so that I don't have to do that. But then they come to me and hire me because that didn't work, because it doesn't work, right? Because you have to go and do the thing. You have to
Well,
go
they're doing it for the
and face
wrong
the thing.
reasons, right? They're doing those things to get confidence in themselves. And then those things aren't giving them confidence in themselves to go talk to women. Because what do you need to talk to women? Confidence in yourself.
Yeah. They're like, okay, yeah.
But they're like, oh, if I make a bunch of money, though, I'm going to be the man. And if I go get jacked, then I'm going to be the man and I'm going to feel good. But and they get those things, but they never feel good. It's the same thing that happens with women. They're like, oh, when I, get a boob job, I'll feel better because men will want me. Or if I, when I can have money to get fancy clothes, then I'll be attracted to everybody. And women will get that. And then they're like, it's no different because they're trying to get confidence in themselves via these ways that are not actually giving them confidence in themselves. So they're skipping, like you said, learning how to get confidence in themselves, learning to appreciate themselves and their self-worth. And they are trying to take the easy way by being like, okay, well, if I have all these exterior things, people will just gravitate towards me. But you still don't have the confidence. You still don't know what makes you a special person, which there is something that makes everybody a special person that attracts the right people in their life. That's why these women are, I'm not saying that women are going to come bombard you when you know who you are, but they are more likely to gravitate towards you if you're confident in yourself and you're not afraid of them if you're confident in yourself.
And that's the thing is like, these are ways to avoid facing your fears. Right. And so that's why like taking these shortcuts, I tell guys all the time, no prostitutes, don't do it because it's a shortcut. Look, if you're a guy that could go up and pick up women and get laid and then you went to a prostitute, I still don't recommend it, but I wouldn't lecture you on it and say, because it's not going to stunt you, right? It's like if you want to do it, fine, it's whatever your life. But if you can't get laid and you go to a prostitute, it's going to make it harder for you ever to be able to because you've taken the shortcut.
Well, and this is what men don't realize, especially when they're horny, right? They want to just get there. Whatever way is the quickest, they want to get there. They don't think about the repercussions. This man didn't think about the repercussions when he ordered an escort for the first time. And he didn't think of the repercussions when he kept doing it because it felt good at the time. He didn't understand what it was doing to his life. And now he's in this position. And it's going to take a lot to get him out of this position, like mentally.
Oh, yeah.
So now, instead of going the hard way of talking to women and trying to learn how to get women to like you, to date you, now he instead created another hard way. It's still hard. It would have been hard either way. Now he has this other hard way of breaking out of that to find love. And I don't think men really think about the long term, right? In these moments, like...
Plus he's going to have to explain his past at some point, which is not going to be... I mean, that would be a pretty difficult... I mean, either you're going to lie about it, right?
Which is not good.
Or you're going to tell whatever girl that you finally end up with, yeah, I spent the 20 years of my life just... Or whatever is, how many years... 15... somewhere 10, 15 years of my life just banging prostitutes.
That's not husband material.
No, it's not going to go over well. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the sugar daddy thing is another try to do. It's again, it's doing the same thing. I don't think
he'll be happy because he's already doing it.
Right. It's the same thing that he tried to do before, taking a shortcut, trying to like get around.
It's going to feel the exact same.
And even just going to the dance class, like, and being jacked and be like, why aren't the women coming to me? It's because you're not facing your fear and going and actually.
You're trying to still do it the easy way of putting yourself in a position where women will approach you rather than you approaching them.
And fear is something that will take over your life. It will not, you cannot just relegate fear to the corner and be like, okay, I'm just going to stay out of this corner and let fear there, because you put fear in the corner and then you're going about doing your thing. And then you look over and you're like, oh shit, it just grew. It's like, it's taking up this part of the room and it's just going to take up more and more of your life. And so you just have to face it. You're going to have to face the fear if you're going to.
Yeah. I mean, people are definitely afraid to do the hard thing, but they don't realize that a lot of times they make it harder by taking the easy way out. And if you just faced it and you just dealt with it, then yes, it'd still be hard, but you would have learned so much that it gets easier from there.
Yeah.
They don't want to do the initial hard to get to the easier. They're like, well, this is easier right now. And then it makes it hard it keeps going.
Yeah, exactly.
For longer.
Yeah, it just gets worse. Yeah.
So he definitely...
Yeah, and as far as...
again, I don't know. Maybe we should turn the whole thing into this because I'm still shooketh.
If you want to, we can talk about this.
It's been 20 minutes and I still feel like it's...
this kind of does segue into the idea of, because I was going to say about settling, because that's what you're going to talk about on the episode, is that he's going to have to make a choice. Like the requirements that he has.
He can't settle for a woman. Like a woman doesn't deserve that, and a man doesn't deserve a woman to settle for him.
He's gonna have to change his, like, he can't be like, I don't want to have kids. I want the good parts of the relationship and not the bad parts.
Well, he's delusional right now because he's only had escorts.
Right.
So he's like trying to pick and choose again to take the easy way.
Right.
I want a relationship, but I don't want to ever argue or get in an argument or have somebody nag me. Stupid. Like, no offense. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to pick and choose just like you learned that you could do sexually.
Right.
And if you genuinely think that's how you're going to go into a relationship, you're going to end up in a bad situation just like you're ended up in a bad situation now. Like he's doing the same things over again. He's trying to take the easy way. He's like, oh, I've been paying somebody to have sex with me and now I want a relationship. I'm ready for love, but I don't want a relationship that's like got problems and I don't want kids and, maybe I'll just be a sugar daddy. Like he's still trying to take the easy way out.
Yeah.
This is a whole mindset reshift that he can only do. It can happen. He can change his life around, but it's up to him. And I think he has to go cold turkey, no sex, and change his relationship with sex as well, too.
But why? Like, that's because here's why I asked this. Because there's plenty of guys on the internet, you know them, I know them, that will say, yeah, this is exactly the lifestyle, right? It's like...
But if it was, why would he be messaging you that?
But plenty of guys like, no, you could, if you want sex, you can pay a prostitute, or you can go and learn game and pick up chicks. You don't need to settle down with any girl. You don't have to get into any real relationships. You can just play it how you want to play it. Be a playboy.
It sounds what a man wants. But this is a man literally messaging you that he has all the things that supposedly men want. And what is he still looking for?
Right. Love.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like he has women. He has access to women. He's paying for them, but he has that. And he has the sex with women who will do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's missing love and he's missing genuine desire, right? Because
I'm
you're not
sure
getting that from
he's
a prostitute.
gotten so used to just getting what he wants that he doesn't have anybody who he's not paying show him that he's wanted.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
But he can't just go and get it now.
Right.
He's messed himself up.
Yeah. No, he's got to do some work to get there.
But, this kind of goes into what me and you were talking about the other night.
Okay.
That I won't go full into because it's really complicated. But this man, like you said, has what every man says he'd be happy with.
Right.
So why is he messaging you? Why? What? Like, he should be like, I'm living my best life. Because like you said, I'm sure there's guys watching this and they're like, well, that sounds like the life. Why is he upset? It's because men don't understand really that they do want love. They need sex.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
That's like part of how they're programmed. I'm not saying that. This man has sex.
Right.
Men also want love. Men want it just as much as women.
Yeah.
Because that is what he's missing.
Well, because I was in a similar position until I met you, right? Everything was going smooth. There were a little bit of small complications, but aside from that, I was living my best life. I was good. I was having fun.
Well, you also weren't paying people.
I wasn't paying anyone, but I was out there living like a playboy. But when I met you, you messed it up for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the flash bang. No, but you did mess it up because then I was like, I'm missing something. I didn't know I was missing something. I didn't feel like I was missing something.
That's because you can cover it up.
Right.
With a bandage.
Well.
And you can fulfill one need that is a really high need for men. Mm-hmm. but everybody needs love. And guys try to act like they don't. And I'm telling you, from even when I was single and I saw guys talk about, oh, well, I'll be single forever and I'll be happy and I can go out and get whoever. And but they're not really happy. They're not. Like, they are content. They are getting what they want. But they are not happy.
Not happy,
Someone doesn't love them. And they might feel desired by women, but these women don't know who they really are. They don't desire him for all that he really is.
Yeah.
And that's what a man wants too. Yeah. A man does want to be totally accepted, just like a woman does. And for the night, men can feel like the man and she can make him feel desired, but she deep down too, he knows that she doesn't really know him. She doesn't know his dark side. Would she desire him if she did?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
He wants a woman who's seen everything and still loves him and still desires him and still wants to be with him.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And until men realize that they need women for love, they will continue to use women just for sex and then be upset when they're missing something.
Yeah.
And take it out on women. Like men have to treat women better. Like, men need the love from a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do, deep down, even if they don't want to admit it.
Well, I think it stunts your growth, right? Because you should never get something that you can't afford, right? And what I mean by this is that, financially he can afford the sex, but he hasn't really earned it. Right. So there's like a psychological, that's also why porn can be dangerous for guys too, for the same exact reason, is it's because you're tricking your brain. Your brain's getting this reward. That's why winning the lottery
is also bad.
Right. That's why, exactly.
Nobody earned the $1 million, so they don't know what to do when they get $1 million. But if you earn the $1 million, you've been through all of the steps to get to that $1 million. And you're going to treat it way different than if you just got it handed to you because you picked the right lottery numbers, right?
Yeah.
So that's what he did. He he paid for, he cut corners.
He cheated the system, exactly. And
he cut corners on himself.
Well, and that's what cuts your personal development, is because if you're a guy, this is why I used to always tell guys, look, if you are struggling with women, 1, cut out the porn, okay? 2, no drinking, no alcohol, so no cheats, right? That's a cheat as well. It's a crutch, okay? You gotta end no jerking it. Like, you gotta be 100% eager, like, you got to have the hunger where you're like, shit, whatever it takes, I'm going to have to do something about this, right? And so that's going to cause you to go to the gym,
you have to
start eating healthy. It's going to cause you to go and talk to that girl even though you're scared to do, right? You're going to have to figure out the things that you need to do to get the thing that you want.
Right.
When you get a artificial substitute for what you want, whether that be pornography or that be prostitutes or whatever it is, you don't have as much of it doesn't fully satiate the hunger.
Right.
But it makes you not hungry enough.
Exactly.
It makes you, it fills you up enough that you're still hungry, but not hungry enough to go and kill.
Right. Think about like, fake foods and stuff, like fake stuff that gets rid of your hunger or gets rid of whatever. But like you said, you still sort of feel like you need more.
Yeah.
Because it's not real. It's not authentic. It's not actually giving you the nutrients or the lessons or the learning that actually going and doing it does.
Yeah.
So, that guy is all a mess, unfortunately. But